A lot of people ask, what does it take to develop crankbaits, and what do we do at Berkley to develop crankbaits that's different than every other crankbait manufacturer on the market today? Well, it all comes down to a blend of science and research, an enormous amount of prototyping. So here we have the new Dime series. This is a series of crankbaits that we have from a 4, a 6, a 10, and a 15. But it actually took over 140 different prototypes across the family to achieve the proper action. So with regard to this project, we wanted that better than balsa action in a plastic bait. We try to obviously build crankbaits that have catch rates that support a greater time on the water.
On that dime, they're eating it in the backs of these pockets. Wind blown, warm water.
Let's take a look at these boxes and see what it took to build the Berkley Dime. I've been here for 13 years, and this has been really my forte with the team, is developing best-in-class actions and cracking that balsa coat in a plastic bait. It honestly was one of the hardest things we've ever had to achieve. 78 prototypes it took to get the final Dime 10, which you see right here, which went to production. And we did so by letting the fish tell us the final story. We took the baits out in the field. You just hit that dime. The catch rates weren't what we wanted them to be, so it was back to the drawing board, and that's why you see so many prototypes, because it takes that many iterations to build the right crankbait. You know, one of the things about crankbait fishing is lure speed and dive depth. So with the Dime series, the 4 will get a range of about 4 to 6 feet. The 6 to 8, 10 will hit you about 12 every time, and the 15 gets you about 15 and some change. A lot of times with these depth-sensitive baits, it's real tough to get that speed, and you can absolutely burn the Berkley Dime to get a reaction strike. So when you really have an aggressive pack of, say, you know, spotted bass, or whether it's largemouth or smallmouth, you can really gauge their response by changing up speed. So the benefit of this bait is you can reel it really fast, or you can stop, let it pause, or you can fish it at a standard rate. Pausing the bait and actually that built-in slow, methodical rolling action on the rise. Few baits in the market have it. The Dime has it, and it absolutely makes the difference in that pressured fisheries, allowing that bait to just kind of slowly move up. You see that throughout the Dime lineup. They all have that cool, unique wobble on the rise. So if you pause the bait, you burn the bait, you pause the bait, you're gonna get that added benefit of that additional action on the pause.
I got him. Quality fish right there.
This is a shad style body diving crankbait, and it needs to hit X depth. But now I need to worry about building the proper action. The 3 most important things when building a crankbait that integrate the proper body actions into a crankbait is obviously your bill shape, your bill angle, and your pull point. And it's a combination of those 3 things. I can move this pull point, and it changes the action every time. And that's what we're doing here. We're building a whole library of actions and baits. With this 10 in particular, you can actually see this bait has a tighter action than the 4 and 6. The 4 and 6 have an aggressive action when the fish are up shallow chasing. That's a perfect kind of almost hybrid crayfish, baitfish type action. But with the 10 and the 15, you actually have this really tight shad type action with an intermediate hunt. The bait actually pivots and meanders as it's swimming through the water. So that little erratic action, and it really showcases itself when you retrieve the bait 3 to 4 miles per hour. So, you know, burn it, pause it, fish it, standard speed. It's just a lot of different options. But one thing I can say is this is probably one of the furthest casting crankbaits that I've ever tied on the end of my line. It just absolutely casts a mile. So with regard to the smaller baits in the series, this one's a 4, this is a 6. These are all about having accurate casting. So we actually employed a weight transfer system. This is a large diameter tungsten ball paired with our flash disc technology that gives us that better than balsa action. but these are some of the best, furthest casting, most accurate casting crankbaits for their body size in the market today. We move to the larger sizes, you'll actually see two paired disc weights on the bottom. 15 actually has a tungsten ball in the front. These baits sit at an angle like this, so immediately when you start cranking that bait, you have the proper pitch. So you don't have a bait that sits flat or level. You automatically gain that immediate dive because it's all about getting to the fish deeper, quicker. We're fishing really natural colors. I just transitioned from kind of a natural bluegill color. There's a lot of bluegills and different sunfish species in this lake. We actually have over 21 colors for this particular lineup of crankbaits. This one right here we're calling Pixie Dust. This is kind of a cool take. It's a smooth-bodied bait that allows us to do a lot of things, everywhere from crayfish, shad-style baits, and anything in between. It also allows us to have a really nice, effective, clear color bait. So one of the things you have with balsa crankbaits in the market today is, obviously, they're not translucent. We have a really cool ability to do translucent colors here to kind of take it up a notch. This one, again, one of my favorites, I'm obviously a huge fan of sunfish and bluegills, is this ghost gill color. This bait's honestly gonna catch them all. It has kind of that blend of action, that balsa type action that's really good for both bass and walleyes. So don't be afraid to pick up this bait if you're a walleye angler or a multi-species angler. You know, it catches everything and you'll have success with it.
Biggin. Biggin.
Here at Berkley Labs, we want to be able to develop a bait that not only pros can have great success with,
Got it. Look at that spot. Wow.
but your average angler, your weekend warrior, your kid, everything that we put into these baits is about telling the story of helping anglers catch more fish.
Remember how we said it was a multi-species bait? It even catches bluegills.